Hey, everybody. Al Fragnoli, Zach Sooty, Hot Topic Tuesday. Got a couple items on the agenda today. First one is going to be World Series. World Series tonight. Game 6 is underway. We got Blake Schnell on the hill for the Rays and Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers. Zach, did the Dodgers close it out tonight, win their first World Series since the 80s, or do the Rays force a Game 7?
I think the Rays are going to force a game 7. I'd love to see game 7. We talked about this last week. If it goes to 7 games, I was picking the Rays. So there it is. I want to see game 7. I think it's going to be an exciting game 6. Game 5 was probably one of the best World Series games I've ever seen. It was exciting. It was fun to watch. So looking forward to game 6 tonight. How about you?
Yeah, game 6, I think this is going to be an exciting game. I think I'm going to stick with the Dodgers to close it out. I know I said that they'd win in 6, so I'm going to stick with that. Something's telling me in my gut, though, that Blake Snell's going to have a great performance tonight, that the Rays are going to force a game 7. If they do force a game 7, it's going to be one heck of a matchup. Walker Buehler's the game 7 starter for the Dodgers. The Rays are undecided still at the moment, although you'd have to imagine they're going to go to nobody else but Charlie clutch big game performer Morton, and we all know what he does in all the winner take all games. So I think the Dodgers need to close it out tonight. Otherwise, I think that tomorrow's matchup is going to be one heck of a matchup, and I might give the slight edge to the clutch performer there and Charlie Morton in the Rays. But I'm just going to stick with what I said to begin with, and I'm going to say Dodgers close it out and take home the World Series trophy tonight. So,
and you called that a week ago, correct? Dodgers in 6.
I did. I believe I called Dodgers in 6. So we'll stick with it. We'll go with that, even though I wouldn't be surprised if it does go to game 7 tomorrow. So, and there's nothing.
I'm sticking with Rays in 7.
Rays in 7, okay, but nothing better in all of professional sports than a game 7. So, what a fantastic series this has been, though. But I'm sure tonight's going to be a great game 6. But just to maybe transition a little bit to some NFL talk here now. The big thing this past weekend, Odell Beckham suffers a torn ACL with the Cleveland Browns. He's been having a pretty decent year so far this year. The team, more importantly, has been having a fantastic year. So, Zach, what do you think this injury means to the Browns? Are they going to still be a playoff contender? Are they still going to have a good season? Or do you think that they're going to lose some games here and not make the playoffs due to Odell Beckham injury?
So I think the Browns were a heavy favorite in the AFC North with the season they had last year when Mayfield another season, Odell Beckham Jr. But I think his injury is going to affect that, and the Steelers are still tough in the North, probably tougher than anyone thought this season right now, the way they're playing. And the Ravens are just the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore defense, they're always competitive. When you think of the AFC North, you always think Ravens Steelers. But with Mayfield, Baker, with Odell, the Browns aren't the same Browns anymore. I think that 5-2 or something like that. And they were looking like they were going to lose that game on Sunday. Beckham went out and Baker just lit it up. It was almost like he was inspired to win, that his competitive nature. And I think he's a competitive guy, just naturally, just against all odds type person, that when Beckham went out, he said, all right, we got to do this. We got to win. They came back and won, and in a remarkable game. So I think the AFC North one is tough. I think the Steelers and Ravens are always tough to beat. But I will not count out the Browns, even without Beckham. I think they are still going to be competitive, and I think that they can still possibly get a wild card. If I don't think they're going to win the division, but I think they can make it the playoffs to make a run at it.
Yeah, I would. I tend to agree with you, Zach. I think the injury to Odell Beckham Jr. is obviously going to hurt them, no doubt about that. But I think they have enough pieces there, and they've put together a good season so far. I think they're going to keep it up. They're a competitive squad, as you mentioned. Baker Mayfield is a competitive guy out there, wants to win more than anything. I think they had high expectations last year, and they didn't pan out. Obviously, I think they're off to a great start this year. It's going to be interesting to see when they match up against the Ravens and Steelers and the heavyweights in that division. AFC North definitely has to be the best division in the AFC, if not all of football. So it's definitely a tough loss, but I do think that they will find a way to make the postseason. So it should be interesting. We'll see what happens.
So with that, Al, talking about the AFC North being one of the toughest divisions right now, or the strongest division in the NFL, who do you have as your top five teams right now? Let's hear Al Fragnoli's power rankings, if you will, and then let's make a what I don't even know what week it is. Week 7, week 8. Super Bowl prediction. Who do you see in the Super Bowl? AFC versus NFC.
Okay, so to answer that first question, top five power rankings right now, I'm going to give the edge still to the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. So they're going to be my number one, even though they already have one loss on the season. They're number one. Number two is the Pittsburgh Steelers, undefeated 6-0, just got done knocking off the Tennessee Titans. And what a great matchup that was. They had a huge lead in the first half and almost blew it. But Tennessee is a great team. I have them even after this loss at number 3. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens, right there neck and neck. And my fifth team is going to be the only team that I have from the NFC. It's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so to answer that question, if the Super Bowl were to happen next week, 2 weeks from now, whatever, I would put the Tampa Bay Bucks in the Super Bowl, and how amazing that would be to see Tom Brady make the Super Bowl after leaving the New England Patriots. All the success he had there, goes to Tampa, goes to the Super Bowl. I'm going to put them up against. I'm going to say it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know that's going to make you happy, Zach. I love what they've done so far. Last year they had a tough season. They've rebounded nicely. It's so great to see Ben Roethlisberger with all the talk this offseason about him potentially retiring after injury. To come back and have a good season up to this point. So I hope that he stays healthy, and I hope the Steelers continue to have some success until they reach the Super Bowl and Tom Brady knocks them off. Zach, who do you have in the Super Bowl?
Well, I never like to pick the Steelers, but I feel like there is football fate in our future, and it is that the Pittsburgh Steelers cannot get away from Tom Brady. Tom Brady and the Tampa Brady Buccaneers are in the Super Bowl against the Steelers, and can the Steelers win one against them? I mean, they gotta beat them. I feel like New England may not feel like it's a rivalry between when Brady was with the Steelers, or when Brady was with New England versus the Steelers, because it seemed like the Patriots had their number. If they meet in the Super Bowl this year, the Tampa Brady Buccaneers, I hope the Steelers can finally beat them and win a Super Bowl.
Well, I think everybody knows that the Super Bowl this year is going to be played in Tampa Bay. So, the biggest thing that you could have going for you in the Pittsburgh Steelers is that there still is not 100% capacity in that stadium. Because if there is, it's probably going to be 80% Tampa Bay supporters and maybe 20% goes to the Steelers.
Steelers travel well. And Pittsburghers love Florida.
That is very true. That is very true. Those snowbirds love to go down there, but it should be interesting to see. But that's kind of who I got. If the Super Bowl was to start relatively soon here, I would say Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. But it's going to be a fun second half to the season. I'll tell you that right now.
I agree, and I would love to see the Buccaneers and Steelers. I think it would just be a great football fate type thing. Roethlisberger and Brady again, And before we close out, Al, I want to make a correction. I think earlier I spoke about Game 5 being exciting. I believe it was Game 4
Yeah,
where the exciting ending was Game 4. So just wanted to make that quick correction. I'm looking forward to Game 6 tonight and forcing a Game 7. So
absolutely. Should be something fun to watch tonight. So thank you everybody for tuning in with us tonight on Hot Topic Tuesday. We appreciate you listening.